funny. Okay.
Y recuerda, si la cagaste en el trabajo y no te corrieron, ahí es. Ahí te quedas, papá.
I know. I think about that a lot. Not like that I've
really
heard that before,
shit the bed, yeah.
but it's true. Like if whenever I make a mistake, it's like, hey, but I'm not fired, so I guess I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Get away with
I was
it.
gonna say none of us have been fired, but you have, huh?
I've been fired, yeah. From the Peruvian restaurant.
No, I've been laid off.
You've been laid off?
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Yeah. And I guess technically I could have gone back, but I just decided not to do it because I'm like, I'm not going to wait because I need a job. So I got another one then.
Same thing, and I actually got offered to go back.
Yeah, me too.
The John Wayne, COVID. They let me go, and I was like, yeah, they never hired me back. I got over. But when apparently they did call me, they were like, we need you to come back. I was like, yeah, I already have a job.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Cause, yeah.
Yeah, that is good.
That's good, right? Yeah.
Okay, so
Wait, so we're starting? Yeah.
what's the first question?
Hi, guys. Welcome to
Take 3?
Take 3.
Take 3. What's that take 3? It's just our
This
our
Girl
third-
Knows podcast.
our third time doing
Well,
this. So,
Yeah,
Welcome to episode 3.
yeah. episode
Officially.
3.
Officially.
No, it is episode 3. But,
not a single upload yet, but
Very high quality production. Hopefully it shows on the camera. Big shout out to the camera guy.
yes. Big shout out to Chava.
So
Thank you, Chava.
Yeah. And for you, for offering your house. Lovely. Being
My
a lovely
home.
host. Yeah, your
My
home.
home.
Your home. Awesome setup.
All right. Take 3.
Mhm.
Episode 3. I did want to point out how, like, I was born in 91, and then you're born in 98, and then you're born in 90. I put down 95, but I wasn't 100%
You don't know where you
sure.
were born?
No,
You.
you.
Yeah, you don't know what you're born in? 95.
95, right? Oh, that's what I
Yes.
put down, but I don't know because at one point you were like, no, I'm already 32 or something.
Okay, I'll take the blame.
So then I was
for
like,
always switching my age. But
Yes.
Still, fine.
But I wrote down 95, so I was confident about that. Well, that's what I wrote down, but I wasn't confident. But cool. Okay. So that means we are
90s baby.
7 years apart,
yes.
4 years apart, and you guys are only 3 years apart, which I always thought you guys were 4 years apart. I thought I was always 4, 4, and 4, but my mom had you 3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's only 3.
3 years. I know, but I always thought it was 4 and 4, like all 3 of us. Oh, no. I don't know where the 4 came from. I don't. Neither one of us are 4 years apart.
Well, 91, 95.
Oh, 4. Oh, okay. That's where it's come from.
You guys started doing math? I waited till you guys came to I agree with
You're like,
you.
I agree with you with the answers. Okay. So that's what I wanted
Jump
to.
on board. You guys on
that's
this
what I
math train?
want.
What are you guys talking about? Jesus
Like,
Christ.
this is
might
not what
be-
I signed up for.
I might be born in 95. Maybe.
You were born in 95, bro.
Who knows?
That's the year
It's a
you were
mystery.
born.
I might
No,
be.
it's
It
no
could be
mystery.
94. It could be
It's
93.
not
It's
mystery.
95 because you've been crying for the last month that this is.
I may or may not be turning 30. I mean, I already be 30 and be turning 31. I don't know. Either way, it's a big deal.
Okay, it's coming. You're gonna 30
Turn
years old.
32, yeah.
30-year-old man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so I can jump right into that one. I was gonna
Happy
ask
birthday
you
to me.
guys. I was gonna ask you. Well, part of it. Like, what is your greatest accomplishment so far?
Well, just off the bat, this is
Right off the bat, especially because so
Sorry.
you're
this is
turning
insane
30,
question. This is
like in a
insane.
couple of days. No, maybe 2 weeks, maybe right? Under
Yeah,
2 weeks.
30 years old.
30 years old.
I'm just getting started, baby. There's nothing
What is your biggest accomplishment?
so far. Not
No, in the future.
not going to jail yet.
I knew you were gonna say
For
that.
sure.
Like I literally, as soon as you were saying those
Accomplishment,
words,
yeah.
they were in my my brain, like that little light that reads. I mean,
yeah, not dead yet.
Thought
Yeah,
bubble.
yeah
Huh?
right.
Thought bubble.
No. It's like a little machine where it's like now open and then it just keeps going.
Haven't
to
done time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, what's your biggest regret, Alexis? So
Mine.
far, yeah.
Biggest-
Regret
Also-
or accomplishment? You switched up.
I know.
Wait, wait, no, we gotta get the same question. How is this? No,
I have to get the same question.
It's like when they ask.
yeah, this is
stupid
this is a
fucking
gotcha
interviewers
journalism.
ask girls like, so
Well, no,
like, what
no,
are you
yeah,
wearing
no, no.
today?
This is-
She wants to know your biggest accomplishment because the biggest regret. That's a long list. You're gonna be pondering for an hour.
That's not what I'm thinking. I literally
Me,
just wanted
she
to
asked
ask
me my
you.
great accomplishment. I'll probably tell her the taco I had last week. So that's what she wants to know, like the biggest regret.
She has
That's your
specific
biggest
doubting
accomplishment?
questions.
No, I'm being hyperbolic.
Okay,
Like
but
you
I
wouldn't
understand what you're
ask
saying.
me
Yeah, I know.
my greatest accomplishment.
These
because it
are
would be-
tailored questions. yes.
Honestly, I just wanted to not be like
Oh, I
linear
was
about it.
assuming you were like tailoring the
No.
question to the
You
person.
want
I
to know his
literally
biggest
just-
regret?
I
What
want to
is
know
your
your
biggest
biggest regret. Yeah.
My biggest regret.
And also, I was gonna say your biggest regret or your biggest, and then I put down because I wanted to be cool. I was like your biggest L, and then I also put
That's funny.
your foul, your biggest foul.
No, L. I like that. That's you should have kept it.
I did put that there.
Okay, that's how you should have asked it. What's your biggest L?
Yeah, what's your biggest
Okay,
L?
Hold it proud, buddy. Hold it proud.
Okay,
dog.
so the biggest L or biggest
The
regret?
biggest L you've taken in your life.
Isn't that
the
kind of the
biggest
same
L?
thing?
No.
No.
No,
The
because I
biggest
said
L,
I
say-
said no. Those are two different questions.
Stop. The biggest L you've taken in your life. Just
Okay,
say
do
it
you want
like
me to
that.
answer that one or the other one?
Which
Those are
one
two
would be the
different.
difference?
Huh? Well, biggest regret.
Here we go. Just tell him that you want to know his biggest L, because that's what you want to know. Trust me. You want to know
But
his
is there a
biggest L.
difference?
Yes.
I put them in the same category. I mean, I put them as the same question. It's just a different way of asking it.
Exactly.
Why say I'm the biggest L is my biggest personal fail or biggest personal like a fail that I've.
That's
or
a regret.
something.
But
a
that's
That's
not
not
a
a
regret?
regret. A regret if I regretted what I did.
So you don't regret
Your L's.
failing?
You don't regret.
No.
He doesn't regret his L's. He holds them. And he wishes
Yeah,
they
because I
never
was like, I
happened.
learned. You learn from the. I
So
don't-
what's your biggest L?
Okay, so not regret.
Yeah. What's your biggest L?
Biggest L.
Not understanding this question.
Hold it proud, buddy. That's funny.
See, I tell you, I'm funny.
That was funny.
The biggest L would probably be.
Yeah, not understanding this question for sure.
You always do that.
Not
thing.
wanting to answer.
No, it's just like because I'm actually pondering the question, but honestly, the biggest L was probably not going to college for what I actually wanted to study.
Okay. Now, what is it that you wanted to study?
Well, for the longest time, it was always culinary because I was always thing that was brought up, just cooking and everything.
Uh huh.
But yeah, looking back on it, I probably should have emphasized more on what I actually wanted to do versus what I thought I should have done just because I always done it.
Uh huh.
Looking back on it, I probably knowing me and everything, I probably would have like studied being a teacher or something.
Okay.
So just not. So you're saying not continuing education.
Not continuing education because knowing me, what I
But
actually,
not only just continuing education, because continuing education specifically to what you actually would want
Actually
to go
wanted
to
to
school
do.
for.
Yeah, because I always assumed it was just gonna be culinary because that's what everybody told me. Because like, oh, you love to cook, study cooking, study cooking.
You're like, I just love to eat.
Well, not only that, but like again, because when I actually did the cooking, like I like cooking, like because every time when I cooked last time the pasta, he was telling me like, oh, you should have done this as a career, like. Dude, I just like doing it because I like cooking
Right,
in
right.
the moment, just for a
No,
passion.
you bought the whole machine.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I
but
told
I-
him you should, bro.
but I-
like you can't see yourself like having your own
No.
restaurant or something.
Isn't that
And
so
he's like,
upsetting
no,
though?
what the
It's
fuck?
kind of like the things that like you do often or the things that you quote unquote do best, but in like in yourself you're like, yeah, but that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
just-
so like a freaking paradox. Like you're so good at it, but you don't want to do it, and you want to do something else, which you're probably not even as good as you are with this other
Yeah.
thing that you probably could make money or a living. But you're like, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And
Yeah,
you're like,
I know.
But you're not
So-
gonna make a living out of this, and you know you're not very good at it. But you're like,
Yeah.
but I love this.
So that's what you're saying.
It's really
that you
hard.
basically would
My biggest
not
not
finding
the,
out.
No, that's not the regret. That's the biggest L. The biggest
Or
L was that I
regret,
never
my
went
So
to
what's your
college.
biggest regret, Alex?
My biggest regret. I don't know.
That was my biggest L, not going to college.
Your biggest L is going to college because you didn't find what you wanted to do yet, and you thought it was culinary, but it might not be. And you
No,
don't know
it definitely
if
was.
is.
My biggest L was not going to college,
To
and the reason
figure
behind I didn't like again was because honestly, I just never really put as much emphasis as like what I actually want to study, what I actually want to do.
Can I
That's
tell
what I'm
you
saying. But
mine?
is that why you see it as an L because you feel like you haven't found out what you
No,
want?
because
do?
I never put emphasis at the time. Like I now, like I always knew, like yeah, it would have been teaching. It would have been something. I would have been a teacher. I would have been a like I always had that in the back of my mind. But culinary was such like an emphasis thing of like oh, always do that. But no, like I always want because it was honestly just like being a teacher or like in the military, just cause like taking orders, like following directions. Like I like having that structure. And the only thing I could see would have that structure was a teacher. Like you have your set of rules, you have your like
you have
summer.
to follow a certain curriculum. yeah.
Exactly. You have that structure, and that's what I liked about
You know
it.
I don't know what's funny, but you know what's interesting because I was writing the questions
Uh-huh.
down and I was thinking about obviously the answers. Mine was my biggest regret was not fighting harder to like do what I wanted to do school wise.
Mm-hmm.
As in like I wanted to go into photography or I wanted to go into I guess now you would call it like social media, but back then it's like
Content creation.
being like a part of a magazine, taking pictures of a magazine, writing the articles,
Publishing.
necessarily not articles
Pursuing
like
it fully.
not like a journalism type of thing, more of a like a
It was always photography. It was just kind
photography,
of,
yeah.
kind of video arts or something in
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
photography.
or like
Also, but
But for me, it was but it was a little bit different for me. For me, it was like, why if I wanted to do that, why didn't I fight hard enough for it? That's
Yeah.
my biggest regret. Like I should have fought harder.
okay, that's
for
the
it.
biggest regret. But what's
Yeah.
the biggest? So what's your biggest L
I don't know.
personally?
I didn't think about that answer, so I have to think about it.
Oh no, because that's you said your biggest L, not fighting for yourself.
No, that's my biggest regret.
Okay,
not
that's your-
fighting hard enough
Okay,
for me, like
that was your biggest.
quote unquote going to photography school. Where that would have led me, that's a whole different story. But like
That's
I
your
wanted
biggest
to go to
regret.
to learn photography officially and go as wherever that would take me. Yeah, but my biggest L.
You can contemplate that well, because you just said your biggest regret. I said my biggest L. Go for you. Which you want to answer the biggest L or your
Yeah,
biggest
what's your
regret?
biggest L?
You're gonna have to think about that too.
Mm-hmm.
It got me thinking that when you were saying that, like, sometimes we have something that we like doing as a passion.
Mm-hmm.
We like cooking, we like or drawing or whatever, and then the idea of doing it forever is just like, oh, such a chore, because they're like, well, I don't want it to be boring, I don't want to suck the fun out of it or whatever if we end up doing it forever. And I think maybe I'm just talking for myself, that's just like that's just one way of looking at that activity, doing it through one medium. Like, for example, for me, drawing, like, if it was like, if you told me I had to sit down and draw all the time with a pencil nonstop forever, my whole life, I'd be like, fuck. Like, that would be boring, or like whatever. Even painting a paintbrush. But then you showed me, no, like, let's say you actually are able to tattoo and you get good at this, and now you have to draw your whole life, but tattooing, now that's a little interesting. Now that it's still like a chore, but it changes a little bit. So maybe, like, that's the trick, is like the medium is a little different. But that got me thinking about that too, because it's like, well, when today I was drawing, like, no wonder, like, I kind of like felt so gravitated towards tattooing too. It's like, it's basically arts and craft. Like, it's everybody's favorite, subject growing up. It's like you cut off the little fucking designs. You're drawing, you're tracing, like, everything is so chill. And like, if you find like that little like way to create your own vibe around it, like, I don't know. I think that's how I feel with tattooing, and maybe like that's what you're saying. Like, if you went to school, you would have found that culinary would have been like this way to either enjoy or not enjoy, or, you would have created your own little vibe out of that. Maybe that's what you're saying is your biggest L, maybe not. Maybe but that got me thinking about that too, and it's like,
Right, because I definitely don't think it's not like if I would have pursued it more, it's not something that I would have changed my mind about. Cooking was never again a passion. It was never like, again, I never saw it as I want to make money off of cooking. I never saw myself.
You think it was more of like, it's kind of like a I guess like your safety, like, okay, fine, if I have to go to school, I might as well just go for cooking because I cook anyways, type of thing.
Yeah, that's how I
But
took it.
you didn't even go to cooking school.
Because that's a whole nother story. The only reason
Yeah.
I didn't go to cooking school was
For
because
me, it's a whole different
my
other story.
financial aid never came through, because I was supposed to go to OCC, but something got messed up with my financial aid that I couldn't go and we couldn't afford it. So that's why I went to SAC, but because that one the first year was free tuition.
But see, for me, like, right, because I'm
But that was my messed up
33,
thing.
I'm gonna be 34 now. I can admit, and I can just point out, like, I could have fought harder for it.
No, and I could have studied more.
Yeah.
Like, I could have done a lot better, and
Yeah.
I probably would have
Because
pursued
it's like,
it.
oh, well, financially, well, there's people who have no financial aid and they still find a way. So it's kind of like, I literally was just like, now that I'm like, no, you could have fought harder.
I relied too much on it, and so that, like I said, but yeah, because also the reason I didn't fight harder for it, because again, subconsciously, probably like, yeah, I don't want to do this as a
Yeah.
career.
Mhm.
Like, it was legit not
what's the
something
big
that I
difference,
wanted
right?
to
It's
do.
like, what the money.
If I would have
or,
actually known,
like, what are you willing to do for the rest of your life?
yeah, and if
If
I
it
actually
wasn't for the money, like, what's the thing, like,
Yeah.
money wasn't an issue. If it didn't exist, can you even, like, conceptualize the idea of living in a world without money? No, I can't
Right.
even.
well, that's
I know.
what I'm saying.
So
No, like
that never works. Like,
I
but
know,
I
I
think
hate
that's-
people who are like, oh, no, like
like, what do you
money's
mean?
not my,
You
my
need money, like.
I'm sorry, like, I'm not saying that, like, money, like, if I have $100 bills, if I hold it, like, that's gonna make me happy. No, it's like, damn, I have 100 bills. If I'm hungry, I can go buy food.
Yeah.
I think
If
so. I don't
my
know
shoe
what the
broke,
quote.
I can go buy a pair of shoes.
I don't know what the quote is, but
I
it's
hate
like
people like,
money
I don't
doesn't
care
buy
about money.
happiness.
I
But
don't know when
money,
that
no,
switched.
I-
But now
the-
everything I do is for the money.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know
Everything.
what it is, but it's not. It's that quote that's like money doesn't buy happiness, but money buys the things that allow you to be happy. It's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
But
something
like,
like-
yeah, sure, money doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
$100 bill is not gonna make you happy. But what that $100 bill does is like, hey, it paid for the light, paid for this, that my child's happy. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
The money doesn't buy it, but what the money does make you happy. Like that's.
But do you think maybe that's like a, not like a, ¿cómo se dice? Not like a,
I think
not
it's
like
true.
an
There's no
L, but not
mobility
like
in
a,
poverty.
like a dumb thought to like grow up. Because I feel like I did grow up with like, oh guys, like money's not important, like it's not a big deal.
Well, it's a privilege thought. That's what it is.
But why did we
Definitely.
get that?
Because we grew up not having the immediate necessity to be like, hey, we're fucking struggling.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
actually had it kind of all right. We were,
Yeah.
middle class suburb, whatever.
Yeah.
And we have privilege
true.
to be thinking, hey, we don't have to. If we had the hunger that somebody had, like, hey, we fuck up and we don't get this fucking basketball scholarship, whatever, and we fuck up once, we're not gonna
That's
fucking
it.
make it and we die.
Yeah, I
That
guess
pressure's
that's true.
different.
You know,
You, get
see,
built
that's so-
different. You don't get lazy that way. And I think when you
Yeah.
get
It's
lazy
so
is when
funny.
you have that privilege. But yeah, we were privileged as fuck. And I think we're like,
No offense, but it's so funny that you say
we're
that.
grateful for
because-
that. But that's definitely what happened.
No, it's so funny that you say that
It's a
because
dark- it's
that
a
goes
dark
on
side
to
of
the
that coin.
same thing that you said. My like the biggest regret, and I'm not blaming my parents for anything, but my biggest regret is not really acknowledging or asking my mom like what was actually going on, because like with my dad, his business and everything, like in a way my mom kind of protecting and not telling what's actually going on and everything. That kind of like that's my biggest
She's
regret.
shielding us from what.
Yeah, like what we actually would have
Again,
known. Like the whole
privileged
year
us.
in Mexico
Yeah.
for me, it was like I never knew at the time like why am I going to Mexico, and it was like well we needed to go to Mexico, like we
It's
couldn't
like, well,
live
you have
here
a
for
home
the
over there.
year.
Like, okay, then let's go. And then that
But
was
yeah,
kind of
but I
it,
didn't know the extent like why we needed to leave that whole year. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like I didn't understand it, and that's what I'm saying. That segues like again. That's my biggest regret. Like if I would have known at the time, yeah, that probably would have changed my perspective because it would have that chain of events would have drastically changed everything. Like I would have known like I'm here because we can't afford to live in here anymore. That's why we're in Mexico. I would have took advantage maybe of that year a lot differently versus how I took it at the time. I was just like, we're being forced to live here for a year. I was just like pure
It was
depressed
more of
and
like,
everything.
just, you guys are under our roof, so you guys do what we say, and then
Yeah.
that's it. But then it's like, but why are we doing this?
And I also
particular
remember
thing?
at the time, I don't know if you remember, but I remember when we were going to Mexico. I remember my mom, I think, gave you and even you, gave you like a straight up choice and gave you like, I want to hear your opinion, but she literally looked at me like, I don't care what you think. You're just doing what I tell you to do. But I remember that so distinctively, and I guess that's why in my head I took that year as like, well, fuck, I don't, like it kind of sucked for me, which is why I kind of regret like my mom not telling me like, this is why you have no choice and this is why you're here. So if I would have like understand that, I would have probably taken advantage versus the way that my mom put it to me, and I'm just like, I hated the whole year experience
It's
because
funny
it was
you
like
say
forced
that.
upon me. Because again, I remember her distinctively. Again, I don't know how she phrased it to you, but I remember her distinctively looking at me and telling me, "You don't get a choice. You're just going where I tell you to go." And I remember that, so that's why I kind of felt like a punishment being in Mexico, in my head at the time.
See, and for me, I feel like I don't remember the conversation.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure there was plenty of conversations. I don't remember me thinking that I had a choice.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know what was said to me. I don't know. I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
and I can't remember.
I
but
just don't remember feeling like I'm like, oh no, like I could have been like,
My mom probably,
Yeah.
like I said, I vaguely have it in my
I don't
mind what she
remember.
said to you, or
Yeah, I don't
even.
remember.
But I remember her giving
remember
in the
leaving.
context of being like, look, you have a choice or you have a decision, but basically say like, you have this choice over
but
here.
also, how old were you?
I understood it.
No, but like,
completely.
no, just legit, how old were
I
you?
think it was before I was even
I was
in
probably
8th grade.
17,
You were 17?
18.
I was probably 13 or
4,
14.
19. No, you were probably, what's 19 minus 4? 15? You were like 15, 16. Because I celebrated my 19th birthday in Mexico.
I was a sophomore.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was still in 7th grade, going into 8th grade.
So definitely like 100%.
I understand that now, but
I have
would've-
the understanding.
I understand
that
why she
I was the reason we went. Because I was starting to shoplift and everything. Mom was like, yeah, let's keep him from shoplifting and let's get him the fuck out of here. And my mom's like, let's move to Mexico. And I think she just took all of you guys with.
Hold up.
Maybe.
Hold up.
Maybe.
Hold up. Is that legit what you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, I would have
Wow.
loved to have known the reason why we actually went,
Okay.
and at the time, because again, that would have drastically changed everything.
That's how I
Yeah,
thought it
but-
was. I thought always that was my fault. You guys
No.
got dragged along,
Yeah, no.
which is fine.
Yeah, it's not that, man.
So how does that make you feel?
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
that's a whole nother podcast, woman. Let's not dissect that now.
Oh no, I'm bringing her here. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, but that's for a whole nother podcast.
Which
That's
is
gonna
like
make a
I
whole
said,
nother hour.
I wrote it somewhere else, and I'm bringing her here. Okay, cool. Again, it's kind of like I can only tell you my my opinion, my thing.
Yeah.
I can almost be like 99% sure that was not the reason.
Okay.
But again,
I don't know.
But don't be like,
It could be
all right, cool.
wrong. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have no idea.
But I'm just saying, even the fact that you have like a little bit of like maybe it was that no.
That's
I'm
not
just saying
that's-
because during that time,
No. I'm not saying that you didn't do it.
Yeah,
and even my mom would
I
still
was
talk.
legit thinking
Even
about
my
the other
mom
day.
still talks about it to this day.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she'll
I was
like,
gonna say-
she's like, "Good thing we got you out of here. Good thing we pulled you out when we did." Or like,
Okay, so hold on.
So
no,
it's like,
sorry, but I was gonna say
whatever.
Going
But
off of what
for
he
me,
said.
that year in Mexico.
Sorry, no, but
Yeah.
no. What you said, I will give him why he has that idea because I also do remember my mom saying it at the time and everything.
She'll always say,
Basically saying like, "Oh, when you need
pulled you
to
out
leave
just in
here,
time.
like pull you out." Like she kept emphasizing that, but that's all he heard, and he never heard the actual reason why. So of course that's why he assumed that's the reason. But you know my mom, how the way she just talked, like, "Oh, this is like," she said, "Not, I nunca dije eso." Oh, but I said something identical to. As far as she basically, so again,
It's like I said this, but I actually meant this whole different thing.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, mom.
Exactly, which is
We
why.
don't need you to agree because I know you're a little kiss ass. It's okay. You don't need to be like, yeah, my mommy's like this. It's okay.
No.
So
but
what's
I-
the most angriest moment that you can remember regarding my mom, about my mom, living with my mom? Like that you live alongside with her or something. I can go first.
I know mine already. Like
Okay, I can go first.
Go ahead.
Anytime she did the double standard because I was a girl.
Yeah.
Anything, about anything.
Yeah.
Mom, can I have the lollipop? No, you're a girl. Like, that's how basic and annoying it was. 100%. Every single time. So there's so many, but that's the emphasis of it.
This is a whole separate topic, and just like a quick answer, we can. I mean,
Yeah.
you can dilute, but you do know there is a double standard, right? Like.
yeah, that was real good. It helped. Look at you now.
No. That's not what I said. But like.
I don't say it like that at all.
Okay, but it is.
No. My mom doesn't say it like.
Which is what I said. That's my angriest moment till this day.
Right.
Not that there, but there's like my mom like there is a complete double standard that like again the fact that you going out or
There's
like
a little
at night
bit
or
of
whatever.
truth. There's a little bit of truth to the fact
It's
that you would do
worse.
exactly the same thing if you had a daughter. Exactly the same.
Like no, you
Down to
going
the
out
T,
at
even
night.
worse. If you had a daughter, there's a pretty good chance you do even worse.
See,
Okay,
Or
but-
more.
See, this
I'm
one,
just
no,
saying-
hang on.
And me being a mom now, I can tell you that what I'm talking about is what have I been, because my question was the angriest moment. Those are the angriest moments. Those are the moments where I literally was angry as fuck.
Yeah.
When it was like, can I do this? No, because you're a girl. It wasn't, hey, look.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You're
No.
going to A, B, or C, and
Justified or
there's this
not.
and all this
Yeah.
stuff. No, it was, no, you're a girl. It's like, but then I'm
That's
like,
what
so
I'm-
can I be a boy then? Can I do the shit that I want to do?
That's
if
what
I'm
I'm
a boy?
saying, that-
No, because
well,
you're a
that-
girl. You know what I'm saying?
that's-
Very simple. That's what I'm saying. That's what was my angry. Now that I'm a mom, oh, it's completely 100% different. I completely
But you see, that's-
see it.
Oh no, but
That doesn't mean I'm not angry about it.
This is what I was
I'm
gonna
33
say.
years old and I'm angry about the fact that I said, can I do this or can I do that? No, because you're a girl.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe.
That's it.
Maybe if you had a daughter, I don't know. Maybe if you had a daughter, you would see it and
no.
not
That
be
doesn't
and
change
not
how
be
I
angry.
felt, though.
And not be
That's
angry.
not-
No.
that's
I'm
not
That's what I'm
telling
saying. No, I'm saying if you had a daughter, maybe
I'm
you
telling
wouldn't
you.
be angry.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
I
Maybe.
don't think so.
I'm saying I don't know.
No, you know why I don't think so? Because I feel like I'm very much like that with Ventura, even though
I
he's
know,
a
but
boy.
Ventura's a boy.
No, but I'm just saying.
I'm
No,
just saying. Like,
I'm not gonna let him.
I guarantee you.
No.
It would be. A
I'm not
completely-
gonna let Ventura sleep over.
I know.
Because he's no.
I
You know why?
But I guarantee you already are way more lenient on him than you would ever be if you had an 8-year-old daughter with you.
Actually, I don't think so.
guarantee, that's what I'm saying. You can't
You
even
know why?
fathom.
I'm gonna
can't
give you an
even fathom
example,
the
and it just
idea.
happened. You know,
Look, none of us
I'm
have
gonna give you an
none of us
example
have
why
had
I'm
a little
not.
girl in the family like
Well,
that to take care of. Like
It's a child.
I'm saying,
period.
yes.
But let me give you an example
but a
right off
girl.
the bat.
I'm saying,
my mom
like,
let
literally,
me go to
imagine,
Mexico.
like at 7 or 8 years old, and you had to take care of them completely. That's a whole other different factor than taking care of a little dude. So maybe if you did have a daughter, maybe you would see it differently, and you wouldn't be as angry as you were.
Okay, that's what you think. And honestly,
maybe
I
not.
can say I don't because, and again, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that no, because of that made me so angry of because it's because you're a girl and I'm a boy. I fight that with Chava, literally with Racing Ventura, and I can tell you it's not true because my mom the other day said, "Hey, can I take Ventura?" I was like, "Absolutely fucking not! Like, are you kidding me? No! Like, what if something happens? What if he does get sexually molested?" Which is the number one thing my mom fought with. That was literally the essence of her saying, "No, you can't because you're a girl. It's because you're gonna get molested." Or someone's gonna kidnap you in that whole realm of that thing.
Baby, and that's what
that is 100%.
I was gonna say.
Hold on, the mentality that I have right now wasn't that, and I'm saying that as in like, even not even like with you guys. I'm just saying like, I'm not gonna put it above my family members. Like that's how much it's embedded on me. That in maybe that's toxic or it's not the best way, but I'm just saying like.
I think that's just the warped reality of reality. Like again.
And not also that too. So I'm just saying in that sense, I don't think it is. That does make me the angriest. Maybe if I had a girl. Maybe I would remember, be like, yeah, I was angry, but I understand her. Right now, it's like, no, I'm angry, but I don't hate my mom because of it. I'm talking. What was the angriest moments in your mom?
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Like a simple question. Those are legit the most angriest moments that I can remember throughout my life. Is me remembering anything and her response like, no, because you're a girl.
That's what I was gonna say. That's different.
That alone.
I don't
right
agree.
Right now, I'm like, okay, like if I'm thinking like, oh, mom, can I go to have a sleepover? And she'd be like, no, you can't because you're a girl. They're gonna do something or blah blah blah. And now I'm like. Maybe should, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna let him to the sleepover. I don't care if he's a boy.
But
like
see,
that's not happening. I'm not gonna let him go to a party for 4 hours, even if it's not a sleepover. I don't care if he's a boy. I don't care if he's a girl. Like that's not gonna happen. Something will happen to you with strangers.
But that's what I'm saying. That I was gonna say I agree with you, and I don't agree with you because like you're saying it's different if it's a boy. No. She had that same mentality that again, if it was a little girl, she was gonna get raped, molested, or whatever. That's the same thing that you picture happening to a baby that could happen, which is why you're treating them the same. I'd say it's the same for as a child because the child had the same race, boy or girl, regardless of whether they're female or not. They're just born, bro. They're a child. It's not anything.
Actually,
I say the only double standard is, and this is why I told you that I think there is a double standard, a teenage girl versus a teenage boy because again, like. The teenage girl could get pregnant and everything.
Right.
That's a whole. That's what I'm saying. That there is a double standard there.
That I can see that.
That I agree with. But a child, no. There's no double standard, and that's why Leslie gets mad.
What if I do get raped and then I get pregnant? Like, let's say you get raped, you're not gonna get pregnant, right?
Yeah, a girl. That's where
I will get pregnant.
But that's why I say that there is that double standard, and which is why I also say that my mom that probably if she would have literally told you like, hey. This is not just you're a boy and a girl. It's like, no. It's not the fact that you're a boy and the girl. It's the fact that you can get pregnant and he can't. You probably would have been like, fuck, it sucks, but you acknowledge that's what
I'm saying. Like, you know what? It's so true.
That's nothing to do with like, the fact that my mom said boy and girl.
You have a girl. You're right.
But
because
the
girl is going to get pregnant and the boy doesn't get pregnant.
But this is why I also say that you have a different mentality.
That very like layered, first layer type of, I mean, but that basic thing is true.
But it goes back to that thing that I'm saying that you would be a lot not more angry if my mother, because I also do remember now, like looking back at the time, never did it. Now I do. She never gave you a reason. She said, no, you're a girl, whatever. The transparency of her telling you, hey, you're more dangerous. Because look, whether you admit it or not, you were an attractive young lady. You were going to get...
An attractive young lady?
Everybody comments about your legs, no matter whatever you want
to say. See what I tell him? He needs a girlfriend.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, that was left field.
Would you just listen? Like, again, my mother's fear...
Listen to you talk about my beautiful legs?
That's not what I said. I'm just saying you were an attractive young lady. Everybody would literally... My mom having that mentality of having danger for you is real. If she would have told you the reasons why, you probably would have still been angry, but less angry other than the fact that you like,
maybe I could remember it differently.
Yeah, but all she's ever told, like, no, you're a boy, you're a girl, you're not going to be able to do that. So that's the reason why that anger stems. Also, double dipping with the fact that you were like a lot more rebellious and do whatever you want. That rubbed her the wrong way. Because like, wait, no offense, you're the good child. You're doing like grade A's and everything, and you're the destructive, and you're still going out like.
And in my head, it's because you're a girl and he's a boy. Do you understand? Like,
again, because my mother never said, "Oh, because you're in danger." No. All she said, "You're a boy." So like, if I was a boy, then I could have got away with everything.
And I tell her because of that, like, I didn't go completely off rails. It's true, 100%. Yeah. But like I always tell her, I could have if I wanted to. Like, yeah, I had the best mother in the world. The most, like, not the most. Most serial killers have stupid moms and parents, so that doesn't really matter. No. But like, I could have just decided not to do it. It also physically takes, or not physically, but it also counts that I didn't actually act upon things. Like, yeah, sure, my mom beat the shit out of me and she scared me, and that's why I didn't do it. But also, there's a few times that I did a couple shit that I probably wasn't supposed to, and I just like, fuck it, and I did it. So
That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
yeah, you were raised in a good household. You were like, no. Because if you were a serial killer or if you were a psychopath, a complete psychopath, and you were just sick and demented, and there was nothing that anybody could do to fix it, no matter what environment you would have grown up on, you would have
yeah,
ended up
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
being a killer. But
No, I think that's a legit regret. And I mean, no, what you said, you were angry as my mom.
That
ju-
was my angriest.
No,
Yeah, like
and
my
that's just,
angriest-
and I honestly think that is justified because, like I said, it was the lack of transparency, the lack that she just gave you a simple answer, not telling you the reasons behind it and everything, and coupled with the fact that, like, you, for the most part, you were a good kid, like, you were doing whatever you needed to be done, and still,
It was like
no leeway.
passable.
Yeah, exactly. It was, again, but that's what, you were a decent kid.
Yeah.
And you still had no liberty whatsoever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like again, looking back at the time, I can acknowledge those moments as well and everything.
So what do you think my mom wants from you?
Oh, I was gonna answer the big angriest I've been. My mom.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
no.
No, go ahead.
No, well, the biggest angriest I got on my mom was like when she defended this guy when he was beating the shit out of me.
That one time or various
Well,
times?
all the time, but the one time that I literally remember the most that it was even the worst is when this guy was beating the shit. Mom comes in and she literally just says "aplácate," and then this guy literally looks in my face and says, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you later" in front of my mom, and my mom is smiling. You laugh at this now, and I'm like, no, there's still harboring anger that I have for this guy, and it's literally
For Alex or for my mom?
both. Because my mom
do you
literally
think
saw Alex like in my face threatening that he was gonna beat the shit out of me, and my mom did absolutely nothing. And that was the first time I also remember
Pause.
this. That this was also the first time in my life that I even screamed at my mom and actually talked back to her. Because I actually even said to my mom, like, ¿Estás en serio que no vas a hacer nada? Like, I literally, like, it was the first time actually talking back to my mom and screaming at her, like, you're not going to do anything? Mm-hmm. Like, and she even realized that at that moment because then she pulled Alex back and, like, had a talk and a whole nother thing.
But it wasn't what you wanted because
No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything at all. But
Okay.
it was those like. But that specific moment I remember because like
Hold on.
it was so blatant and
Okay,
in
pause.
her. No, but it's all those times that again she literally did nothing. But it was just that one because it was like so blatant. It was just like so out of my mind. Just like again, I couldn't. I honestly I just
And
couldn't
that's the
comprehend it.
angriest time that you've been, like, that's the angriest moment that you remember being her?
Well, yeah,
Maybe
because
like-
I literally remember I was crying, literally in pain, like I was holding myself from the beating this guy gave me. Like
Do
I
you
was
remember
literally
why he was beating you?
for no fucking reason. Like literally, I remember the time. Like he literally came home, like he was literally just beating the shit out of me for no fucking reason. Like there's legit fucking anger there. Like I literally contemplated, like what the fuck. And I literally remember that so fucking much that he would, and like, no, but I remember that moment so carefully. Because like I said, I was literally like crying and everything. My mom, literally not even a single care. And it specifically
Do
if
you
I
think it's
didn't.
because she didn't see you get hurt?
No.
asking you.
I honestly don't understand. Like again, she saw the actual pain. And the same
Hold on,
thing
is
was,
it blue?
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And also the same thing with my dad. Because then dude, that's a whole nother. But the other thing that I also been angry at my dad,
Yeah.
the same moment that Alex and I were fighting, he was like, tú no estás peleado con Alex. ¿Sabes cuando te peleas cuando le agarras con un cuchillo y le dices que te dejes de paz? Porque eso cuando pasó, cuando yo me estaba peleando con sus tíos, eso es de verdad peleo. I've had hell. I've had
Having you
a
had a
knife.
knife fight with him?
Yeah, exactly. My dad's cluelessness is completely unaware of that. It's like even pissed me off even more. Like, also, that's also like a whole other one. But that's also like the sad. Like, that's how little you literally know. Like, you don't even know that I've actually had a knife fight with this man, and he had like a knife to my leg. Like, you don't even know that.
Yeah, well, I don't think he knew in 1%
No, but
of
that's what I'm
everything,
saying.
yeah.
It was like the anger and also like the sad. Like, really, you don't even know that when your own kids have like a freaking knife fight. Like, you're that clueless. Like, yeah, that's yeah.
What about you, Alex? Do you even have a most angriest moment with my mom? 'Cause I think all of them are lovely, right?
it'd be hard to find one.
Ay, Dios mío.
All right. So you don't have one.
I don't have an angriest moment.
Well, of course, no. I mean, it's fine. You know, cool. Okay. What's,
Yeah, wait, I can think of one if I really try. Yeah.
Okay.
If you say some
I got one.
stupid ass answer, man, like, oh, she took away my skateboard or some shit. Dude, I swear to God.
That was devastating.
Okay, wait. But what's the coolest thing about my mom? The number one.
Huh?
The number one coolest thing about my mom.
I always say the coolest thing that I ever saw my mom do was...
No, the coolest thing about her.
Oh.
All that she did.
Huh?
Not like what she did.
Yeah.
Like the coolest thing about her.
I mean, she prioritizes us over her own health. Like,
Is that cool?
huh? Well, I wouldn't, but I mean, like, okay, but like, how do you quantify that?
That's cool. Fucking psychotic. That's not cool at all.
Yeah, that's not, I'm not saying, but like, okay, how would you, I mean, it's not a negative thing. It's definitely like,
No.
well, yeah, okay, yeah, debatable whether it's negative or not.
Because well, okay, I don't talk about that one, but
Yeah.
okay. What do you think is the coolest thing about my mom, Alex?
Well, I'm saying like she prioritizes, like she definitely psychotic to a level, but like, she puts us above anything. Like literally.
So that she loves us very much above everything.
I was gonna say it's also sad, but like I honestly do believe she's the only one that loves us unconditionally.
Cool.
Like this guy could be a serial killer and she would still love the shit out of him.
100%. So what do you think is the coolest thing about you, Alex? I mean, what is the coolest thing about my mom?
Yeah, careful. Same thing. Yeah, she loves us all. It's cool.
I think the coolest thing about her is that she's present in our lives. As in, like,
Oh yeah.
you call her and you tell her stuff, like, she's there. She's not just going to be like, all right, cool, like, let me get to my next thing. It's like, no, like, okay, let me listen to you. Or, like, even if you, like, or, like, if we tell her, hey, mom, come on, let's go do this, you know? Or, like, be like, oh, today I'm going to do this. I need your help. Like, okay. I mean, she probably wishes she could do more, but based on her means, that's what she does. And, like, she's just, basically, she's down for anything.
She gets the vibe.
She's literally down for anything.
If
I'm pissed off of some random ass lady she don't ever met, she will never meet, she's down to, like,
I was gonna
let's
say
go
like
do
she
some shit
literally
crazy like
genuinely
that.
cares about us because I also remember like dude I mentioned the Jovi Juan was gonna get married like literally 2 months and she reminds me every single month like ya va menos la boda del Juan.
Yeah.
Ya literally, like I literally told you like
Yeah.
you were invited and she literally like she bought a dress and like
Yeah.
she like
Yeah, like she's literally,
yeah
like she's down ass full. Yeah,
yes
yeah. Okay, cool.
You guys are a bunch of crybabies. Both of you.
Yeah, but you know what I realized? That all internally, you are the biggest crybaby because you're like, oh, I had to go to Mexico because I was shoplifting.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah,
that's
in the back of your
the
head.
best year of my life. I was
Yeah.
not crying about it.
Yeah.
But you are a big crybaby, a huge crybaby, because you describe our past and us fighting like it was this giant like abuse that I would just torture you all the time. We would fight and we would get into fights that would elevate to us bringing out knives. Yeah, because we would be crazy and our testosterone levels would be up the roof. We'd be trying to kill
you
each
keep
other.
saying that all the
It's
time
not like I
I
would
never
just beat you and you would fight.
because you know why
Just
the
like
only
we're
reason I
fighting
would
right
fight
now, just like we're fighting right now, and just like we always fight when we fight and we get down and we brawl, there's always a level where we're not able to reach because we'll take it one step further. And
But you
that's
know
what
the
happens
reason
with
behind it,
everything.
and I know that you don't understand this. I don't want to fight you. Every time I ever fought back with you and we got in a knife fight, it's to you to literally stop. I don't ever want to fight. I've never once have I wanted to fight with you. I always defend myself. Yes, have it always elevate, yes, because I'm just trying to make you stop.
And I guarantee you that if you don't address this, you will continue playing the victim card until the end. Even though right now you're the bully, you're the one that picks on me. And what? You don't want to pick a fight?
Because
That's what
it's
I'm saying.
resentment, anger. That's what I'm
Now
saying.
that's how your resentment, anger gets put out to pick on me now. Instead of venting or talking about it on a podcast, you pick on me and say, "Oh, so now I'm doing the same thing he got to do to me." And
I'm not saying it's healthy, but that's
Stop
definitely where
bitching
it
and
comes.
Stop crying if you get to beat me up right now. Because if you wanted to, you could beat me up right now. Stop your bitching and stop crying like a little baby. Take it like a man. You took a knife to me. I took a knife to your neck. You fucking cut my hand. I've lost knife fights with you. So it's not like I've won any of those. I would just take it like a man and shut up because we fought and we fought before. And look at here. You're bigger than me. You can still beat me up. And I guarantee you, we didn't fight the way we fought. You would have been more of a bitch than you are now. So you're welcome. Thank you. That's what you should be telling me. You won't get it now, but one day you will. See?
One day he will understand that you beat him up.
One day he will understand that I'm trying to show him that he's not as much of a bitch as he thinks he is. Yeah. One day he's gonna understand that. Yeah, maybe I beat him up and I wasn't trying to hurt him, but I was trying to beat him up and he beat me up too. And I think we both became tougher because of that. Yeah. Sure.
I don't agree with that, but I do want somehow for you to know that, yeah, you're not a bitch. Like, not that you think that you're a bitch, but as in, like, no, you're a stand-up guy. I told you that the other day. Like, I legit was telling you the other day about, like, maybe not physically, but just like as a whole, I'm like, yeah, you're not like whatever. You're a stand-up guy. Like you legit have value in yourself, and that does have strength attached to it. I don't agree with that because first of all, I would never fight you, so you can be like, yeah, it's kind of like it's like an abusive dad. Like, no, I made you strong. Like I beat you up so you can be strong. Like that's abusive as shit. Like I don't agree with that. But that's what it came out. Like that's what that. I don't agree with that portion. But yeah.
But that's what I'm. No, but I think highly of myself and everything. I don't think anything less. Like I don't think I'm a bitch. Like again, I'm always in that mindset that like I'm high of myself and everything. I'm just not the type. I'm not an aggressive or anything for my own sake or own purpose or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not testosterone driven or anything else. I don't have that. I don't feel the need for that anything at all either. I'm perfectly comfortable with the way I am. And like definitely, I mean, I realize my flaws are like probably like workout and all that other stuff, but I'm not lacking in the department of like toughness or whatever. I just don't feel the need to, I guess, indulge in that fighting aspect or anything. Like I always say that.
Yeah,
I always say this.
Wrong into what you said.
I always say this.
But I also understand.
I also always say this to myself. No, like I always say this to myself that like no matter whatever happens, like I always told, I even told you, like no matter what, I am so confident in my ability to fight and everything that like I'm not afraid to go out at night or whatever because I know I'm never gonna try to fight the guy, but I know if push comes to shove, I'm gonna come out alive. Because I'm going to do whatever it takes to be alive. I'm not afraid to fight or whatever. I just choose not to. I don't want to do that.
See, and I get that.
But that's why I said that my toughness is there. Because my toughness is there. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm never afraid to go out at night or whatever. Because, again, I know if something's threatened with my life.
Okay, but really fast. Do you think also, not low-key, but do you think to give, not, I don't want to give him a thanks to it, but it's kind of like, who would you have fought with if you wouldn't have fought with Alex?
Oh, no, I'm saying, yeah, it's because of that or whatever. But
okay.
No, it's definitely because of the fact that I had to defend myself against him. Okay. But again, it was like, because his strategy was just literally like to beat the shit out of me. I know I can, if you want to give the credit, like I give the credit to him on that.
Right,
like, yeah, the reason why I believe that I can handle myself because like I handle this fool. Like he can.
Can you?
I acknowledge that part,
Alex.
I never denied that.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, but then can you also understand that whole fucking shit is machista as fuck? As in, like, you should thank me because I beat you up and I made you strong. Well, you're his brother, his older brother. Yeah, which, may I add, he is still looking up to you, even though he's always bothering you. Like, where's your passport? Where's your license?
No, yeah, and that's the other thing. Like I said, I always gave him credit. Yeah. Whether I don't know where that came from, but like I always give him credit.
Shirt, he's like, that motherfucker, he's always looking.
Yeah, I always give him credit that the reason why I can defend myself is because of him, because I will beat the shit out of me or whatever. But I always give him shit out of it because he beat the shit out of me for no reason. Because I told you last time it was like a little bit of sad or whatever, the funny joke. But when that podcast that we saw Bert, like, oh, did you ever get, when he talking to Nate Diaz, did you ever get beat up? Like, oh no, I have a big brother, man. Come on, I never beat him up. That wasn't me. My bully was my big brother. The guy that's supposed to defend me.
A little bit of a difference?
Yeah, the guy that's supposed to defend me was the one that was beating the shit out of me. Whether, again, in his mind, was it for to toughen me up or whatever? Yeah, sure. Well, you can say that now. At the moment, definitely wasn't that. I give him credit that that's definitely why I'm tough. Yeah. But again, yeah, it goes back to that reason, that, like, the reason why I have that hatred for him. Because, like, so yeah, it was the guy that was supposed to, like, help me out, like, from that. That was the guy that was like, okay, I have to get tough so I can defend myself from him. Instead of him defending me.
Could that be like you know how people say like, oh, they're like hope grows in an empty lot or something? Have you ever seen that picture? Like hope grows in, I don't know what it is. I'll show you guys a picture.
All I'm saying is, for a fact, I shouldn't have been that much of a jerk to you the way I responded to you right now. I'm not just saying that because I got called out on it right now. But yeah, you're right. I did beat the shit out of you a lot. But what I'm trying to say is I beat the shit out of him a lot. And yeah, I fought with you, but you never came to me and told me, hey, I need help. I got a bully who...
How can I come to you when you were the one delivering the beatings?
That's what I'm saying.
I was being bullied in middle school. That was literally my thing. That's what I'm saying.
You were getting bullied in middle school. You never came to me and told me, hey, I'm...
How could I come to you if you were the one that was bullied? That's what I'm saying. You were never the protector. You were never that to me. You were always the one... You were tough, and that was your logic. You want to say, go ahead. But you were never the one that I could come to.
Well, that was my fault that I...
That's what I'm blaming you on. I'm not blaming
like,
on you.
The biggest thing of this is kind of like, obviously, like, we wish things could have been different. Yeah, like, a lot of shit could have been different in our lives, 100%. But I'm just saying, like, that's what I was trying to say. Like, maybe this is like that little, like in WALL-E, where everything is like nothing is growing, and then there's like that
little
leaf.
sliver. No, yeah,
Maybe
yeah. But that's what
like
I'm saying.
that little leaf for something good to grow out of it. Like
And yeah, that's what I'm
That's,
saying. Like you
that's
don't
the
pay
little leaf I'm trying to find here. That's what
Okay,
I'm saying. Look,
maybe
Well, that's what I'm
look,
saying. That
look,
you don't
you
pay
were-
attention to
look,
what I say because
look.
I always give you credit.
Well,
The reason I'm
look,
tough is because of you. I
that's
never
what I'm
denied
saying,
that.
but you always say like I'm the one that beat you up, and like for the fact that I beat you up, and you have this resentment towards me because I'm the one that beat you up when you were a little kid. If you were getting beat up either way, and I went and I would have fought your bullies or whatever, and let's say I would have taken a break from beating your ass up, and I would have bullied your bullies for you, you would have been bullied right now. You would have been way more bullied right now.
How would you have known
wouldn't
that?
What do you mean? I didn't know that. That's the thing. I did it.
No, but you're saying that if you
You
would have done
never
that, I
came
would have
to
been
me.
less. I would have been
That's-
even more because I would have saw you like you could have beat this guy up. Like again, Leslie says it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, I always look up to you because like you're the tough ass motherfucker. But you took that toughness and used it like literally used it against me. You never told me, hey, let's lift weights. I remember all the time. You don't tell me like, hey, let's go, whatever. That's why I also told you too, like we don't hang out or whatever. You hang out with Eduardo. You were working out with Eduardo, like doing all this stuff. That was never you. You never gave me that opportunity. Yeah, you can say that right now. Oh, if I would have beat up those brothers, you would have been more of a bitch. No, motherfucker. If you would have beat them up, like, oh, look at my big brother beating the bullies, I probably would have followed in your footsteps.
because I feel like it would have been a moment.
Yeah, we can backseat drive and say, oh my God, yeah, if I would have done it, it would have been a big bitch. Yeah, but if you would have done that, I could backseat drive and say, yeah, if you would have beat him up, I would have followed in your footsteps and would have been beat up people too.
Because it would have been a situation where like beat up his bullies and help him out, but also still like beat him up a little bit so he can continue.
Yeah,
to,
exactly.
You know.
That's just, no, but again, that's just backseat, like again, that's
No, you're
ignoring
right.
the
Yeah,
fact
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. Though I'm resentful of again, I don't know.
I was a bitch and I beat on you, so the only thing you could do is be a bitch too. Like, yeah, that was my.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't regret the fact that like again I don't regret anything. That's what I'm saying. Like the regret, yeah, I'm tough now or whatever. But the resentment is there because, like I said, is the fact that you beat me and like I acknowledge you that you were the reason why I got tough or whatever. But yeah, there was a way different way that could have gone on than the way it did.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, fuck.
It is like
Yeah, it is
we
what
don't
it
have
is
a fucking
right
time
now.
machine. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. And like also what I say, I don't hate you right now, but there is that hatred there because it's them. Because it's like it's always gonna be there. There's no way to fix that shit. It is what it is.
That shit.
I think it was also.
But there's like a little leaf, right?
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. The relationship, I fucking love it. Like I told you right now. Right now I'm good or whatever. And the same thing when you tell my mom, you don't hate my mom, but you just wish you had that like my mom that acceptance moment of
Also,
like.
it's like it's part of our. It's part of our.
Yeah,
the chapters in our book. Like, of course, it's written. Like, we can't just be like, let me rip out the pages.
Yeah,
type
like
of thing.
pretend it never happened or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what
If
it
you
is.
like keep reading that chapter over and over and over, it's like, okay, now you have a fucking problem. But
Yeah.
like, hey, it's there.
But
no
again-
one's ripping out the
but I
pages of
think-
your life. It's
and to
gonna
be
be
fa-
there.
and-
But let's keep writing cool ones. Like,
And to be fair, like
Yeah.
yes, maybe we do bring that chapter up, but like
Yeah.
you said, we bring it up with you bring it up with my mom, I bring it up with him, because like it's never that acknowledgement of like, hey, this is what my mom's like. I was never that harsh. Like right now, oh, I did it for you. No, motherfucker. Like this is why.
and
you
it's
did
not
it.
like a one-time conversation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because again, like it's so
It's
many
supposed
years.
to-
Like
yeah.
so many years of reading the same chapter, it's gonna take you a while to be like,
This
hey,
is the
there's-
first time that you
yeah.
actually acknowledge, like, yeah, that's a different. Okay,
that both of you.
yeah, and then
easy.
further on, like, oh, there's not just because we've had this one conversation. I'm never no. It has to keep being brought up and keep the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And then it'll heal.
Like
whatever,
everything
all that
else.
other stuff.
Like
Uh-huh.
like everything in life,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's a tear before it grows.
Huh?
It's a tear in the muscle before you can grow it. Why would it be any different for the spirit or the mind?
For muscles, when you get bigger muscles, it has a tear.
I'm
and then
like,
it grows
what are you guys
bigger.
talking about muscles? I got no muscles. I don't know anything about that. Like, okay, I don't know what you guys were asking. I mean, I forgot the question that prompted this conversation.
It was the maddest I've ever been.
But he couldn't come up with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Okay.
mom?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's kind of like not end on a good one, but let's like
And on
change
a
it. Change it.
Yeah.
A little bit,
Let's end
not
on
in
a
a cheerful
positive
one,
note.
but a little
Yeah.
bit better. Like, what do you think my mom wants for you? Like the number one thing she wants for you. You know how he's like, oh, I only want this for you, blah blah blah.
Well, my mom keeps saying it. She wants me to find somebody.
Man or woman, man or woman.
I am straight. I just admire. I can admire the human male anatomy.
Male anatomy? That's like their penis.
I was gonna say male physique. Male physique. I can admire
What
the
do you
male
think?
physique. But again,
It
that's,
doesn't have to be like that you agree with her. It's like
I was gonna
that you're like well, aware of like, okay.
Yes, man or woman, anything he wants, I'm down.
no. She's saying what it is.
But like for me, I know my mom wants me to get married. Like that, she's like, oh no, I just want you to get married. Like I want to see you get married. It's like, okay, girl,
Yeah.
but I don't want to get married.
Yeah, I know.
But I know that's what she wants. Like I know that
Yeah.
that's what she wants. What do you think is the thing that my mom wants for you?
I don't know.
You don't know what she would want for you? It's not like a trick question. It's like, do you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Probably to
Do you know?
have some kids. Why don't you want to get married?
I don't personally don't want.
But that's what my mom said.
Why?
I acknowledge that. Like
You
I
No,
want
that's a whole
ceremony?
different thing. But I know that my mom wants me to get married.
even I know that. Like
Because I feel like she's like,
Yeah.
okay, she already had a kid, so now she gets to get married, and then that's kind of like, all right. And I guess the third one would be, or not the third one, but it's probably like have
Well,
a
I can
degree
even
or
name-
get an education, have a kid, and get married. Those are probably the the
In her
three
mind
top
for you.
things for me. Yeah, that I think.
Yeah.
I would agree with that because I would that would
But
she
what do
would
you
want
think
for
for
you. For me, yeah, to
Find
find somebody, lose weight, and be financially secure. Those are the things that I know my mom like. If I ask her, she would say that about me.
Okay,
Find
but
somebody,
you
lose
don't
weight.
think you don't have a like a thought of like what she would want for you. Not like, oh, of course she wants you not to be dead. Of course she wants you not to be in jail. Like those are like simple, or those are like obvious things. But do you have one that you're like, oh, I think yeah, that's what she wants from me? No. Alright. That's cool. That's cool. Anything you guys want to say to my mom?
Thank you.
You can say this is kind of like my mom, right? A little.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of that.
what is it called? You know when you guys at school, I don't know if you guys remember, you used to do that like circle map, and you guys would put like the subject in the middle, and then like all the lines of all the other things that you guys wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
You guys never did that?
I forgot what those were called.
Venn diagrams.
No, the Venn diagram is those two circles that are like
Yeah.
touch each other in the middle.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about like
Oh, brainstorm.
it's a brainstorming
yeah, it's a brainstorm,
technique.
but it's like
Yeah.
you get. I remember that's how you used to write essays. Like you get the main topic
Yeah,
and you got the
like
three little
this.
paragraphs.
I feel like the subject was mom, but we have a lot of shit to talk
Yeah.
about. The Venn diagram. This is the Venn diagram. That's the Venn diagram.
Honestly, that's not how I would have put it. I would have put the circle right here, and then like, it's kind of like the tree of life. Like you put my mom was on the center, and you had
Well,
the
because we wouldn't be
question.
here without my mom.
Well, yeah, like no, because yeah, the question stemmed from my mom,
It's very
and then it was
predictable.
like yeah, it just like it went like into different segments, like just separated
Yeah.
on its own conversation.
Yeah.
But the main topic was my mother.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Feliz Dia de las Madres, mom. Okay, so this comes my next question. This is good. Is that what would you like to have done, accomplished, start, or stop doing by the next time we record?
Which is when, a week? 2 weeks?
Which is when we record.
When we record?
TBD.
Oh, each one,
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, it's upload this damn fucking video.
but this one or all three of them.
No, this one.
So the other ones are just what in the.
The other ones are gonna be kept as my drafts and will be
Really?
eventually. No,
There'll be exclusive leaks.
yeah.
Oh, they should be out. You can't have this one and then not have the other three behind
Just
it.
stop. This is not like a novella. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool that she's like, she's keeping some, and it's
Yeah.
fine because it's the beginning ones.
I'm saying you shouldn't. Again, I'm
Okay,
not.
so my question was, what would you like to have done, accomplished, start, or stop doing? I would like to edit this one video and upload it. What would you guys like to do by May 10th?
You know what?
By May 10th, what would you guys?
Oh no, sorry.
What
but-
would you like to have done, accomplished, start,
this
or
is-
stop doing by
okay,
May 10th?
sorry.
In a couple of weeks.
Sorry, but if you're gonna put this one, that's gonna be the one out there.
I would have liked.
I'm have to give a shout out no matter what.
So look over there.
This whole conversation that was brought up on everything about him beating the shit out of me or whatever. I'm not gonna give just credit for him because the other person I always give credit has got to be the water polo team. That was the reason why I didn't also stop being bullied. Those people.
That you stopped being bullied?
Yeah. Well, not only stop being bullied, but change my whole mentality on everything.
You mean you got like a little confidence boost?
Well, not only confident, but I just got that whole
Shout out to Brotherhood.
the whole water polo team. Like everybody's talking shit.
Brotherhood.
No, yeah,
What is
brotherhood
it,
and
like
everything.
not blood or
The clan.
the clan? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
the
a-
whole everything, just like again talking shit or whatever.
Reminds
But
me of
talking
your little
shit,
bitch ass friend. He's no longer part of our.
talking shit,
Our
but then
clan.
also being
Which
talking
I'm
shit
sure if you ever watched
in a
it, you know
lovely-
who you are, little bitch.
in a good mode, but talking shit and talking the most heinous shit, but never being malicious and always like freaking always gotta give a shout out to water polo crew.
Kind of like kind of what you would have liked for Alex to have handled the situation.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, okay,
100%.
okay. That's another thing.
Yeah. But
what?
always give the shout out to the water polo
Okay.
crew. Saturday.
Anything you want to say to my mom, Alex? Anyways. Okay.
Happy Mother's Day. Mom.
I don't know why I just thought
Good
about it.
podcast.
But
guys.
remember when you wrote a letter to my grandma and you spelled abuelita with the W?
No,
I do.
it's cute.
It's like one of the most like, not like naive in a negative way, but like a naive in a like a in the
innocent. I
in
didn't-
the, in
I don't
the,
even remember.
the most,
That's how innocent
the
it
most
was.
innocent. Yeah, I remember because you know my mom be like, escribe una carta a su abuelita, and you literally and you capitalize the A and then you put the W, abuelita.
Is that how you spell it?
No, it is not. Okay. Thank you guys for
Yep.
coming. Ooh, coo, 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 coo. Coo, coo, coo.
And to improve our relationship as brothers, and to keep unpacking our trauma and get better at communicating.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love you guys too.
Love you guys too.
Reinforce our bonds.